This is the Kolpak Walk-in, which is the leader in the cold food storage industry. This is our sample walk-in that we have here at the NAFM show, showing the standard finish, which is a 26 gauge Galvalume finish. We also have a diamond tread kick plate to protect the door and the outside of the walk-in as well, so that if you have cart traffic or you have people that want to open the door with their feet, that you can protect it from being dented. One of the features that we like to talk about on our doors is our adjustable handle, adjustable hinge. This hinge is fully adjustable. The hinge is attached to the door plug and the door frame. There's actually a tapping plate behind here. So to adjust this hinge, you loosen up the 4 bolts that you see here, and you can adjust the pitch of the door with just a simple hand tool to be able to adjust that hinge. Without this type of an adjustable hinge, you have to remove the whole hinge and shim behind it to make sure that you've got a good smooth swing on the door. These hinges are also cam designed, which causes you, when we open the door, you'll see that this hinge moves upward that protects your sweep, and then you'll see it also when the door automatically closes. It helps to make sure you get a good tight close too. There's also spring loaded so that you get a good tight close. When you get to within 1 inch, the door closer takes over to make sure that you've got a good airtight seal when your door closes. So I'll open the door. You'll see the cam design will lift the door up. This door will actually stay open at 120 degrees. Less than 120 degrees, the cam operation and the springs take over to make sure that you get a good tight seal on your door. The handle is all, the hardware is all matching. Door closer, the handle is deadbolt actuated, so that you get a good lock. You can also padlock it so that you can make sure that you keep it secure. All of that though also has a feature of interior safety release, so that you cannot get locked into the walk-in. The interior safety release knob is also glow in the dark, so if the lights are off, you would be able to still find your way to the door of the walk-in. This is the Kolpak Air Shield. It's a patented Kolpak product, available only from Kolpak, and this is our answer to strip curtains. Strip curtains do a great job on keeping the cold air in the walk-in, but they're a sanitation issue, they're an aggravation to the employees, and quite frankly, after they're put up, after a few days, you'll find them either draped over the shelving or they're gone altogether. This is our answer to that, and what this is it actually creates a current of air. It comes on when the door's open, goes off when the door closed. Simple actuation device, and you can see when you close the door, it's going to push the button and turn the fan off. It actually creates a curtain of air that we've got a thermal image that I can show you, that it creates a curtain of air when the door's open that forces the air back into the walk-in so that it keeps the cold air within it and doesn't allow that to leak outside. This actually is an image that shows the workings of the walk-in. This is the door. This is the evaporator that would be in a walk-in, and this is the air current. This is actually measuring the velocity of the air coming out of the evaporator. You can see that when it hits the door, you get a lot of leakage of cold air coming out the door of the walk-in. I'm going to show you the next one. Shows you what happens when the air curtain is engaged. You can see air curtain starts, cold air comes out of the evaporator, and it actually creates a current that keeps that cold air inside the walk-in. Really good visual to show you how much of that cold air is kept in with the Kolpak air curtain. Interior finish is what we call our new EverClean finish. This is a type 304 stainless. It's preferable to a smooth stainless because it tends to hide blemishes, fingerprints, and even dings and dents. There's actually a ding in this panel right here that you have to get in the right light to be able to see. In a smooth stainless, you would be able to see that ding probably from across to the other side of the booth. So it's a very good finish. It's available in 20 and 22 gauge 304 stainless. We also have LED lighting. This is the LED jelly jar light or vapor-proof light that standardly comes over the door. On the other end, you can actually see our standard light, and you can see the difference between those two lights. where the LED gives a much brighter appearance, much cleaner light. We also have the 48-inch version that is up overhead over us here. A couple of the features about the LED lights. The first one is they're instant on, even in a cold environment. As soon as you turn the lights on, you get full light level. With the old incandescent or even the new energy efficient fluorescents in a freezer, it may take 15 minutes to get full light levels. With an LED, it's instant on. As soon as you turn on the light, you get full light. The other couple of things is they don't generate as much heat, they use less energy, and these tubes are actually rated at 50,000 hours. So you're going to get more than 10 years out of these light bulbs. This is our new Arctic Fox electronic refrigeration control system, and the major energy savings that comes along with this is demand defrost. And what we're referring to with demand defrost is currently for your defrost cycles for your refrigeration system, you have set times of day that it's going to go into defrost. It's going to be time started and then temperature ended. But you're going to have it set up to defrost 4 times a day, and it does that whether it needs it or not. So you're wasting energy when you're taking the temperature of your evaporator up to a certain level, thinking that it needs to clear ice when there's not any on it. And what this system will do is it's made up of a smart relay board that's located actually on the evaporator in your refrigerator in your walk-in, and it's connected to this controller with a Cat5 cable. And the system is adaptive, which means that it learns how the refrigeration system's working. For example, when you first install the system, it's maximum efficiency. The coil's totally clean, everything's running exactly like it needs to. And what it does is it learns that when it gets down to a certain point and it's working too hard to maintain your set temperature, then that means something's getting in the way of that refrigeration and that airflow. So it tells the system it needs to go and defrost to clear that system so that it can go back to working efficiently. The difference is that it'll do it only when it needs to, not every 6 hours or whatever your time set is. For example, with the school system, let's say that the school after noontime on Friday through 7 o'clock on Monday, there's nobody in and out of the walk-in, no traffic, no moisture getting in, no humidity getting in. It probably doesn't need to defrost, maybe not any over that weekend period. Today, it'll still defrost 4 times a day. With the new demand defrost that we'll get out of the Arctic Fox controller, it'll only go in when it needs to. Maybe this is our display panel, which is VFD, and that's vacuum fluorescence display. And you'll notice that this is a much cleaner, much clearer presentation than a traditional LED. This will also give you full readability in an outdoor environment where an LED is very hard to read when you get in the sunlight. It gives you streaming words and phrases versus a 2 or 3 character code presentation of what your diagnostic code may be. For instance, this one's set up to be on a combo box. It's got cooler on the left side, freezer on the right. It goes through and tells you what your set points are, that your door's closed, that your light's off, that your system is idle right now, that your evaporator's okay. So what we can do on this one is, as an example, we can take the temperature up. You'll remember that the system's idle, and that means that the condenser's not running because it's at the set point temperature. It doesn't need to be running. We can take the temperature up to 36, and it changes to tell you that system is cooling. That means the condensing unit's on. It's running until it would get it back down to the set point temperature. We take it on up. That's the high temperature alarm. Now that's actually louder for the purposes here than it will be in a restaurant, because we don't want to clear your restaurant because an alarm code goes off in the kitchen. So what happens is it's also a combination of the event triggering plus a combination of time. You may hit your high temperature point during a defrost cycle, and you don't want the alarm going off at that time. You would want it to be a combination of hitting that high temperature plus an amount of time before the alarm would go off. To also give you a little more security, there will be 3 operating modes in this. There would be a user mode, which you may have the ability to reset the alarm on a temporary basis just to get the noise out of your way, but you may not want that alarm cleared totally unless you're a manager, so that they can come in and make an assessment of what happened to make that actually go off. Then you would have a totally high-level code, which would be service only. So if there's a major change that needs to happen, you don't want that occurring without it being a qualified service person that knows what they're doing and changing your system. Another feature that we're showing is part of the issues with a walk-in is that there's a lot of lost space on the top of it. So what we've done is devised a solution to allow you to be able to store on the top of a walk-in. And really it's quite simple. What we're doing is we have a chart, and it's actually just sort of building a deck and putting it on top of the walk-in, and we have a chart that will give you, depending upon the depth of your walk-in and how much weight you want to support, we can tell you what type of structure you need to build to be able to store on top of your walk-in. So it's providing a solution for that dead storage space that exists today. Okay. One of the major differences with Kolpak between our competition is that we manufacture and design our own refrigeration systems. We're actually showing here a couple of systems. This top one is what we call the duo-pak, and it's a combination cooler-freezer combo walk-in that you have the condensing unit under a single housing, which allows you to have one lift to the roof of the building, a single point of connection for your refrigeration, and a single place for you to connect your electricity to. So it saves you on installation cost and costs you no more than your two individual units. The overall design of our system is also superior. We call our refrigeration the 120 series, and the 120 stands for it is designed to operate at an ambient range of -20 up to +120. That's the normal top range for our competitors is 110. So this gives you a totally efficient system at a higher temperature rating. You may look at that and you think about a 120 being an awfully high ambient temperature, and that doesn't happen much. Well, it's actually a 120 ambient condition. So that means that we're in Orlando, Florida, and it's 90 degrees outside, and you're on a roof that's black tar, and the cooling surface itself isn't clean. You can get to 120 pretty easy. So this one operates at maximum ASHRAE efficiency standards, which is 16 hours for cooler, 18 hours for freezer, up to a 120 ambient temperature.